guys, here I am, back again. It's Saturday morning, Saturday the, I have no idea, is it the 14th? Something like that? No. The 13th. How is everyone? Yeah, Saturday morning here. I woke up this morning. I didn't really have a plan to make a video. I almost wasn't going to make one. I wasn't feeling too motivated. But while I was having breakfast, I put on a jazz record that I haven't heard in ages. And it just motivated me, and it was really brilliant. So I put this on, which is what's on in the background. Prince Lee Char Quintet featuring Sonny Simmons, The Cry. Gary Peacock and Mark Proctor on like a dual bass thing as well. It's really cool. It's it just hit the spot, and I haven't listened to jazz in ages, or I haven't really been on a jazz kick, or I've been away from jazz, and I was just feeling really invigorated. So I thought, you know, I'm just gonna jump on and show some jazz records. There's not really a theme or order, or I haven't really talked about jazz in a while, so I thought I'd get on and do that. So I literally just went through and I picked a whole lot of jazz records. And I didn't really plan for what I was going to show, so I'll just talk about it and see what happens. No research done. Yeah, anyway. So before I start that, I just want to say again thank you to Ben for sending me these amazing VCLT records. I've been listening to them most of the week actually. This record is really cool. The first time I listened to it, it didn't grab me, but then I kept wanting to sort of go back to it and listen to it more and get my head around it or get into it, or I've sort of listened to it 3 times, maybe 4 times in total since Tuesday. I don't know how to describe it. I really like it. I'm just going back to it and I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm just at that point when you listen to a record in the first 3 or 4 times where you're understanding it and appreciating it, and it's really growing on me. It's really cool. It's very sparse, like not much happens, and it's quite a limited texture palette in a way, but it's really brilliant. I can definitely hear aspects of his latest album, Skeleton Tree, in there, which is really interesting. So this is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, entirely composed of covers ranging from the Velvet Underground to John Lee Hooker. So I guess I didn't know this album, or I didn't bother with it, because I guess when I started off listening to Nick Cave, initially I listened to his greatest hits CD at the time and Abattoir Blues. And then I picked up his other albums based on songs that I knew off the greatest hits. And of course, this being a covers album, there was none of these songs in the greatest hits, and I just never got around to listening to this. So yeah, this is cool. This is really interesting. The only original song that I knew was All Tomorrow's Parties. But yeah, this is really interesting. Looking at where it sits in the Nick Cave timeline, it's sort of in that weird spot right after The Firstborn is Dead, which has that sort of is it like blues, Delta blues, I don't know. Listen to the album. It's right in that cornerstone of the sort of angry devil shouting stuff and the ballad stuff, which is really interesting. It almost feels like I don't know, I'm just making this up, like a transitional album in terms of finding that later Bad Seed sound that became so iconic. Man, I can talk rubbish on this channel. And the weird part is you guys listen to me and buy records that I talk about. I must be doing something right. Yeah, this is the Guru Guru record. The ElectroLark. So yeah, compiled of 2 albums, which is I think it's their second album, Kangaroo, and then the 4th album just called Guru Guru. So it took me a while to figure out what this was by looking on Discogs. So yeah, it's compiled of their 2 albums, and the songs are mixed together. You can really tell which one is their 4th and which is their 2nd. The Kangaroo record is really awesome, and then the 4th album is a lot more almost blues rock, which I don't dig as much, but because it's all spread out across 2 LPs, 4 sides, the whole thing kind of works as a suite, weirdly enough. Yeah, really enjoyed this original on Brain. This is something that I'll be playing a lot and absorbing throughout the week. Recommended. Alright, I'm talking way too much. That's 3 of the 5. I won't. I'll get to the reason I'm here. Jazz Records. Amazing cover. This is a really great Pharoah Sanders album. I go through weird phases where I'm not really feeling Pharoah Sanders and I feel like I have too many, and I have phases where I love Pharoah Sanders, but this is a record that is an absolute cornerstone, I reckon. Yeah, Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt is one of my absolute favourite jazz tracks. There's this one moment towards the end of the song where Sonish Rock kicks in with this amazing guitar lick that just fills the whole space and really adds this weird groove to the feel of the song. And who is it on drums here? I can't remember. I almost want to say Rashid Ali. Technical difficulty there. I actually filmed the rest of the whole video and I realised that the storage had finished, so that's a complete waste of time. Anyway, I can repeat this video and hopefully talk about it with a lot more articulation and clarity, repeating it the second time around. In saying that though, the last bit ended and I wasn't sure if Rashid Ali was on drums. I probably could have googled that in the meantime, but I didn't. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's Rashid Ali on drums. A really great record. Probably, in my opinion, the best Pharoah Sanders record. Tawheed. Check it out. Next up is Charles Mingus. Oh yeah. Looks like I picked quite a few of the big guns in this video. Yeah, this is a really great record. It's on a Japanese pressing on Atlantic. So this is one of those records that, to me, it has this sort of like down-home blues almost style to it. Like, it's a big band Mingus record in only style that Mingus can do, but it has this really sort of like roots blues sound to it. I guess it's kind of evident when you look at the song titles on there. You can see Hog Callin' Blues, Devil Woman, Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am, Eat That Chicken. Hopefully that sort of gives you an idea of the vibe. Yeah, it's really magnificent. It's one of my favourite Mingus records. Something that I'll probably keep absolutely forever. Just, yeah, big, bombastic, lots of shouting, lots of things going on. Yeah, it's just a fine example of Charles Mingus, really. And in Wellington there's a collective of musicians called the Wellington Mingus Ensemble, and they often play shows around Wellington, and they do Hog Callin' Blues off here, which is always really cool. So I always try and go check them out when I get the chance, because it's amazing to witness those Mingus tracks. And you know, there's like 20 musicians at these things and they just play with the power, and yeah, it's just something to behold, really. I'm really lucky to have that band play around here quite a lot. Anyway, moving on. We'll stick with the classics. Monk's Dream. Yeah, for me this is my favourite Thelonious Monk record. Thelonious Monk, Charlie Rouse, John Orr, and Frankie Dunlop. But yeah, obviously Thelonious Monk is a star of the show in this record. It's just his way of playing. It's so it's like delicate and playful, but it's so crooked and in and out, and it's like chunky and playful, and I don't know. It's Thelonious Monk. When you understand how he plays, it's a revelation, really. He's just really, I don't know. It's Thelonious Monk, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, I could listen to him for ages. This is for me his greatest record. Monk's Dream. It's a dream. Check it out. I don't know why I'm doing the final countdown. What else we got? We'll go with another piano player, Cecil Taylor. This is a really interesting. It's like free. It's free jazz, but it's not free It's just improvised. Well, is it improvised? It's just inside out. It's bizarrely composed. Everything sounds like it's backwards in the best possible way. It's a Blue Note record. This is a Liberty pressing from the 70s with the blue label. The artwork is just absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, it's like pop art at its finest. Anyway, yeah, Eddie Gale, Jimmy Lyons, Ken McIntyre, Cecil Taylor, Henry Grimes, Alan Silver, Andrew Cyril. So a lot of these guys went on to do stuff with the French free jazz label BYG Actual, but this is them on a Blue Note thing, which is kind of unique in itself. But yeah, this is brilliant. Anders in Stockholm switched me onto this record many years ago. If you want to learn more about jazz, I think his videos are all still up. Yeah, he's the master, and that channel inspired me a lot in the early days of the VC. I'm just constantly paranoid that the camera stopped again, so I'm always checking. If you see me staring past you into the back of the camera, that's what I'm doing. Okay, we'll go with another giant of jazz, Max Roach. Admittedly, Max Roach is somebody that I haven't got into as much as I would like. I've listened to stuff that didn't really grab me. I've listened to stuff that's blown me away, like this one, and as Nomo. It blew me away, and there's a track off Drums Unlimited that blew me away, but then the other parts of it didn't. I'm not really one for long drum solos, and that puts me off a lot of records, but yeah, this is in the vein of, I guess it's like hard bop / spiritual, and when I tell you the players are on here, you'll sort of get where I'm coming from if you know your jazz. I mean, you've got Gary Bartz on here, Charles Tolliver, Jamie Merritt, Stanley Cowell, and Andy Bay. So those guys are sort of mixed up in the soul, spiritual jazz of Strata East. So it's a really amazing blend of stuff with like a spiritual and a jazz, Blue Note East. Solid and powerful and spiritual, and it's not overly flashy. It's just really good jazz. It's just, everyone says go for your Miles Davis, go for your Love Supreme, but this is up there for me. It's really great. Okay, last one. I may do a part 2, I think. But yeah, this is One Flight Up, Dexter Gordon. I think Donald Byrd's on here. Kenny Drew, Niels Hennig, Austin Peterson, Art Taylor. This is a Blue Note that doesn't get that much recognition, but I think it's really brilliant. It's just beautiful. There's something about the way Donald Byrd and Dexter Gordon work together on here. They're artists. I don't have any of their solo records. Donald Byrd, solo records. I don't have any of their other albums. Dexter Gordon or Donald Byrd, but I'd like to get Arman in Paris. But yeah, it's just gorgeous. I don't know, it has that absolutely classic Blue Note sound, but it's just done so well. A record I absolutely love, and yeah, no one really seems to talk about this record or talk it up, but it sits in with these records as great jazz records. Alright, and it's time for a bonus piece, just because it's New Zealand Music Month. I just want to show this record that I championed many years ago on my channel, back when I had, sort of around 100 subs. This is a really gorgeous jazz 7-inch out of Wellington by a group of artists called the Elder Statesmen. Montrose Sunrise and Transalpine Express. I really love the 7-inch. It's just both tracks are just, I'd say, perfect soul jazz. I don't know. It's still available pretty cheaply online, but it's totally worth it. Hopefully you're not sick of me talking about this, because I've mentioned it a handful of times in my videos. But yeah, it's definitely a treasure. Yeah, that was that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for subscribing and commenting and all that sort of stuff. Stay well. It's getting into cold winter here. I'm kind of jealous of you guys in America heading into summer, but we've got plenty of records to get through, so I've got lots of time to spin records, stay in and drink coffee. Cheers.